All right, folks, it is Friday, July 15th, 2022. Let's wrap up all of the Nintendo news from this week. All right, so we had a massive week in terms of Nintendo news. I don't think really anybody expected this week to be quite so important in terms of updates on old games, new games, and just other stuff. There's a lot to talk about today. Maybe not as many individual items, but the items that we do have on the list today are much more important than usual topics that we have on this show. So before we get into the actual news, I like to start each episode with our Nintendo Switch Online reminders. So reminder number one, Pokemon Puzzle League is now available. This was announced last Friday or last Thursday, and now it is available. So if you have not played Pokemon Puzzle League yet on the Switch, go check it out. The second update is that MLB The Show 22 is our new game trial. This will run from July 15th through the 21st, and you'll be able to play as much as you want for free. And then you will get a discount, of course, as usual with these free game trials. And if you are into platinum points, you will get 100 platinum points for even trying the game. So, yeah, check out MLB The Show 2022 if you are interested in baseball. I'm probably going to download it just to get those platinum points, but that's the only reason I will check this out. All right, now I debated which story to start with first because I think all three news stories this week are pretty equal. However, I wanted to start with the one that you're not expecting, the one that a lot of people aren't really talking about. Nintendo acquired a new studio this week. In fact, they acquired CG animation studio Dynamo Pictures. The deal is going to close on October 3rd. Nintendo will have a 100% stake in the company, and they will be renaming them to Nintendo Pictures, which, if you remember, if you've been watching this show, I mentioned how Nintendo copyrighted or trademarked the Nintendo Pictures LLC name a few weeks ago. So for keen listeners of this show, you'll know that this was coming. I wasn't expecting it to go quite like this. I thought maybe Nintendo would be forming their own kind of branding with that, but no, they're just acquiring Dynamo Pictures and renaming them into Nintendo Pictures. Now, this is important for two reasons. One, this is like one of very few Nintendo acquisitions. You know, I think last year or the year before they acquired Next Level Games. Before that, I don't even remember when the last one was. I think it might have been Monolith Soft in like 2008. So it's been a long time since Nintendo acquired a studio, or you know, hasn't been that long since Next Level Games, but they just don't do it very often. So it's very noteworthy. The second reason this is important is because it is a CG animation studio and they're renaming it Nintendo Pictures. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, we don't really know. Of course, Illumination is working on the Mario movie that we should be getting next spring, or next, I guess, late winter, in 2023. So we know Nintendo is interested in moving into film and that kind of production stuff. However, I don't know if this is necessarily that direction. It's called Nintendo Pictures, which certainly makes you think film and TV shows. However, Dynamo Pictures has a long history of working on video games. So most notably for listeners of this show, they worked on the Pikmin shorts. They created those. They worked on Metroid Other M's cutscenes. They've done a ton of other stuff. They've worked on Monster Hunter World, Death Stranding, Nier Replicant. So they've worked on a ton of stuff, and I'll be curious to see if this is going to be more for in-game support, like support for other studios with their cutscenes, or this could be something more, maybe Miyamoto wants to helm some more short movies or stuff like that, like the Pikmin shorts. But yeah, I think this is probably the biggest news of the week, and I mean, it's maybe not the most interesting news because we have video game news to talk about in terms of release dates and new game announcements, but I think this is going to be important going into the future. Seeing Nintendo acquire a new studio is a big deal in a world where every major company is acquiring other studios. Nintendo's been kind of quiet over the past 2 years, outside of Next Level, of course, so it's exciting to see them actually kind of making moves like this, especially a 100% stake into the company. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Maybe future news, we won't really hear about this for a while probably, or what they're going to do for a while, but certainly something to keep an eye on, and big shakeups at Nintendo. But all right, enough jerking around. Let's talk about the big news this week. There was a new Kirby game announced, baby. And then there's another, maybe even bigger story, depending on what you're a fan of. So Kirby's Dream Buffet was announced on Twitter via a trailer, and of course on YouTube on Tuesday. This is a 4-player rolling/racing game that is set to be released later this summer. No release date, which we will talk about. I think that is very interesting. This is going to be very much like Super Kirby Clash and Kirby Fighters 2. It's only going to be in a digital game, which is interesting because in the original press release, the wording was not clear. They said it would be released on the eShop, on the My Nintendo Store, and at retail. They later clarified, because a couple of press outlets like kind of reached for comment, because that sounded a little confusing. They later clarified it is going to be digital only with retail cards available. You know, they do like little download cards. So it is a digital only game. Just certainly disappointing. I would have loved to have another Kirby game physically on the Switch, but this game looks amazing. You're seeing it right now. This looks so much fun. My initial thought was Fall Guys Kirby. It's not quite like that, but you're basically just rolling around, eating food, getting bigger by eating the food, and yeah, it looks very adorable. Now, I think this is interesting for a couple of reasons. Well, one, we're obviously not getting a Nintendo Direct anytime soon. That's been the speculation for the past few weeks. Not happening. There's no chance this would have been in a Nintendo Direct. Same with the next news story we're going to talk about. I almost want to say, and I know this is going to be super negative because I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, this almost makes me think that we might not get a Direct in September either. The past two Kirby eShop games released in September, of course, Super Kirby Clash and Kirby Fighters 2. This is a summer game without a release date. That to me says it's most certainly going to be September. And worth noting about, well, Super Kirby Clash especially, that game was announced in a September Direct and just released immediately. Kirby Fighters 2 is a little bit of a special case because it was during COVID and there was no Direct that month. But once again, that game just came out when it was announced. I think there's a good chance there is no Direct because if there was going to be a September Direct, this game just would have been in that, I think. That's the vibe I get. I also have another theory that I will get into in another video like next week. I'll be talking about all the Nintendo Direct, kind of rumors again. I'm going to do an updated video where I'll go over some more theories, but Kirby's Dream Buffet releasing later this summer, probably September. I would assume after Splatoon 3, so maybe like September, I don't know, what would that be, 16th? Somewhere in there, expect this game to come out. I am very excited for it. And yeah, just a new Kirby game. People were kind of annoyed when they announced this because it's like, oh, another Kirby game already? Bro, there's always Kirby spinoffs. What are you talking about? If anything, they've been kind of light on them on the Switch, so I'm excited to see this. I do wish it was getting a physical release, though, I must say. But the Nintendo Twitter Direct did not end there. We got a new trailer for Bayonetta 3. So this came off of a kind of, well, not leak, I guess, but the ESRB and Peggy rated this game the night before they showed the trailer. So we kind of knew it was coming very soon. Kamiya had been tweeting about, like, oh, he wants to show the game soon. So we kind of knew this was coming this week, earlier in the week. And here it is. Bayonetta 3 releasing October 28th, 2022. This game looks fantastic. I just finished Bayonetta 1 and 2 personally. I'm going to be doing a video review of those games as well very soon, so stay tuned for that. But Bayonetta 3, this game looks fantastic. You're seeing all the great characters. You're seeing Rodon, you're seeing Enzo, you're seeing Luca, you're seeing this new character. You're seeing two Bayonettas. I don't even know. The lore in these games is bonkers. So, yeah, Bayonetta 3 set seemingly in the same world as Astral Chain, which I guess we kind of knew based on last year's trailer, but you're finding the homunculi, and yeah, this game looks fantastic. October 28th, like I said. They did reveal a special edition for this game. This is going to be called the Trinity Masquerade Edition. If you are going to try to get this, I know a lot of my viewers are collectors. If you're going to try to get this, go to GameStop right now. If you're watching this, pause the video, go to GameStop. They are taking pre-orders right now. That's where I'll be when you're watching this, probably trying to get my pre-order in. If you go in-store, they are taking pre-orders. Otherwise, nowhere else is taking them right now. It's not exclusive to the My Nintendo store. Thank God. And then another really nice thing for us collectors, I was not expecting this, but based on what's included in the Trinity Masquerade Edition, it does make sense. So they announced that on September 30th, Bayonetta 1 will be getting a standalone release physically for $29.99. And that makes sense because the Trinity Masquerade Edition comes with alternate cover arts for all three games that you can kind of replace and then use as like a diorama kind of thing. Very interesting that they are going back to that well and re-releasing that. Hopefully this means they reprint Bayonetta 2 because that game's kind of going up in price right now. But yeah, Bayonetta getting the love it deserves. You know, a few weeks ago, I wasn't even a fan of Bayonetta, but now I'm in, man. This trailer got me really excited. Let me know if you guys are looking forward to Bayonetta 3 down in the comments below. Also worth noting, it is only a week after Mario plus Rabbids, so Nintendo likes to do this, man. We're going to have that 2-week period where this is going to be packed, and we have Pokemon a few weeks after, so a lot of stuff to look forward to. All right, now this dropped just before I started recording. Nintendo likes to do their 6 p.m. tweets. It seems like every Thursday, so I got to learn to record a little bit later in the day. Volume 1 of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass will arrive on launch day, and they detailed what will be included with it, with some pictures. I think this information was already out, but now we're seeing pictures of it. So Volume 1 of the expansion pass, the Adventure Support Pack, you can claim useful items for your journey as well as new clothing. So it looks like it's mostly cosmetics and then just some items. I don't know what items you use to gather heroes. I'm assuming it's going to be like blades from Xenoblade 2, so maybe that's what that is. But then they also tease Volume 2, which will be releasing by the end of the year. You can experience a new hero's tale and take on challenge battles. So we got a new hero with that DLC as well as challenge battles. So not necessarily new information, but new images. So very interesting to see. I'm excited for this. I actually already preloaded the expansion pack. I think that's the first time I've ever pre-ordered a DLC. This game comes out very soon. I'm so excited for Xenoblade 3. Oh my goodness, there's no way to describe how excited and ready I am for this game. So yeah, Xenoblade 3 DLC already getting detailed. If you're interested in that, go check it out. All right, now I'm not going to cover the actual contents of this leak because I think that kind of goes into the spoiler territory. With leaks on this show, I will cover it if it's a new game that we don't know about. Like Metroid Prime has evidently leaked. That Fire Emblem game that was almost certainly real, that leaked. When it's a game like this that we already know about, and it's just the stuff in the game, I'm not going to cover it. However, I'm just going to let you guys know that it is happening right now. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I don't know what's going on. It seems to all be real. The game is just leaking straight up. Like, Pokemon are leaking, starter evolutions are leaking, gym leaders are leaking, the main gimmick is leaking. So everything is leaking surrounding this game with screenshots. Now, they're very low-quality screenshots, but they are screenshots nonetheless. So stay alert if you don't want to see spoilers for Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, just don't look up Pokemon on Twitter, basically. And I mean, we're very much due for a new trailer. Maybe when I upload this, maybe Friday morning, they'll upload a new trailer. We'll see. I would love that. I feel like we're due for a new trailer. Certainly, we don't even know the name of the region. So yeah, stay vigilant if you're trying to avoid Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks, because someone high up on the game's development team certainly seems to have a lot of footage that they're going through and posting, or screenshots, I should say. All right, now we're into the news that I want to cover, but like no one really cares about. That's mean. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. This actually leaked the night before it was announced via a retail listing. I think it was on Best Buy, and then Game Mill just kind of announced it. They're like, "Yep, coming out October 7th." I don't know if anybody watching this video plays Nickelodeon Kart Racers. I've never played them, but you know, if Nintendo's gonna delay this Mario Kart 8 DLC anymore, man, I might have to buy it. I'm waiting for that Mario Kart 8 DLC. But, yeah, it's cool to see. I mean, it's nice that they're clearly doing well. People clearly like these games. This is the third one on Switch now. So to have a new one coming this year is not really any surprising. It's been a few years since the last one, so that sounds about right. Makes me excited that we're probably going to get a sequel to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl in a few years, because that game actually was pretty good. So, yeah, more Nickelodeon games. I know people like those. Wanted to cover it for y'all in case you missed it. And then another game leak that is not confirmed yet, although I have to imagine it'll be announced very soon. SaGa Frontier 2 appeared on PlayAsia. So a few years back, Square Enix remastered SaGa Frontier, of course, the PS1 game. I think it's a PS1 game. And then now we have SaGa Front 2 remastered appearing on PlayAsia for pre-order. They already pulled the listing, but the box art had a logo and stuff. So yeah, SaGa Frontier 2 remastered, most likely coming out very soon. According to PlayAsia, it was set for release on August 25th of this year. So another Square Enix game, guys. Another Square Enix game that is apparently going to be coming out. I can't imagine this isn't going to happen now, because it was up for pre-order on PlayAsia. That doesn't happen on accident. So expect an announcement for SaGa Frontier 2 very soon. Just once again, incredible support from Square Enix, man. I cannot believe it. Also, that is getting a physical release in Asia, which of course usually has English. So if you want to have it physically in your collection, you can do that. Yeah, more Square Enix, more SaGa, niche franchise, but seems to just keep growing. So really cool to see. All right, I just wanted to shout out a quick 3DS game that actually just came out yesterday. Silver Falls Ghoul Busters is available now on the Nintendo 3DS eShop. This is one of the last 3DS games releasing. Now, I always say one of because, there's always going to be more. I think Jarrell from Sungrand Studios has said there's more coming out for 3DS, but this is the first, finally. We're finally getting to see the fruits of his hard work. I was covering his games a few months ago. I just wanted to shout it out. He did send me a review code. I will be doing a video on it, most likely, so stay tuned for that next week. But yeah, Silver Falls Ghoul Busters available now on the 3DS eShop. Make sure you get some funds in your account very soon, because I think that ends in August. So if you don't have money in your eShop account, you better get on that, because yeah, there's more games coming. Someone else sent me a code for another game that came out a few weeks ago, Atomic Lung, I believe. So I'll be checking out that as well. Awesome to see support for 3DS in 2022. You know me, I love my 3DS. Can't really see it because the Wii U's taking over, but yeah, more 3DS eShop games coming and are already releasing, and just awesome to see support for the 3DS this late in its life cycle. All right, this is a very negative news story. Bandai Namco has been hacked by a ransomware group known as Black Cat. So they have been hacked, and we don't really know the full details, but Black Cat has done a lot in the recent past. Just ransomware attacks in general have been happening a lot recently, it feels like, with video game companies. I think it was late last year, CD Projekt Red was hacked. Capcom had a hack. I mean, it's crazy how often this happens. I don't know what to expect from this. We don't know the details of how much data was stolen, how much they're asking to not leak it. So there is a lot to weigh in here, but I guess for people watching a Nintendo news show, just stay tuned. This might end up leaking. We might have some leaks happening soon, depending on if Bandai Namco kind of plays into Black Cat's demands, whatever those are. So yeah, we'll see. If anything crazy actually comes from this, but yeah, Bandai Namco did get hacked. They did release a statement confirming everything that happened. So yeah, stay tuned for Bandai Namco leaks, guys. Hopefully not. I guess, I don't know. It's so hard to say, like, what should a company do in this situation? Should you just pay them off, or should you just let it happen? You know, it is a tricky balance to weigh in there for sure. All right, and ending off, so I would have put this higher, but I wanted to include it with the other item. Nintendo Switch Sports is getting an update later this month. No one's talking about this. Even Go Nintendo, which is the site I source for all this stuff, they hadn't posted about it. I don't know why. It was only announced via a Japanese trailer, but we do know for a fact that Switch Sports is getting an update later this month. It is going to add a wide attack in a volleyball. Not going to lie, I've not been playing volleyball at all. As well as the leg strap update for soccer, so you can play the full soccer game with the leg strap, which you couldn't do before. And then it said and more. We don't know what that and more is. I'm assuming you're gonna get a data mine very soon where they show off more cosmetics, because I think we're getting pretty close to the cosmetics running out for this game. And on that note, week 13 is now available. I don't know, I mentioned last week I was going to start covering this. I don't know if I should do game updates. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. But week 13 has the new I think it's, yeah, the volleyball collection. So if you haven't gotten those yet, if you're playing and keeping up with the cosmetics, make sure you do so. You have 3 weeks to do it. I already did it. Every night, every Wednesday night when they come out, I just grind it out real quick in bowling. I have not missed a cosmetic yet. I refuse to. All I play is bowling because it's the way to get points. But maybe now that I have some nice cosmetics to mess around with in other modes, I'll start playing, soccer again. That'd be fun. Soccer is really good. So yeah, Switch Sports getting an update very soon. And our next subject, or next topic, our final topic, I guess also kind of has to do with Switch Sports, because I want to applaud it here again. Our Switch eShop top 5 to end the video. So pretty drastic difference from last week. I was surprised to see one of them drop off. So our top 5 is starting from number 5, Minecraft is back in there, Mario plus Rabbids at number 4, Switch Sports at number 3, Cuphead at number 2, and Portal at number 1. So I think that top 2 is the exact same. However, the other 3 are different. Well, first of all, huge congratulations to TMNT Shredder's Revenge. They did announce that the game has sold over 1 million copies. However, it looks like sales must have slowed down on Switch, at least, because it is no longer in the top 5. So congrats to them. They're out now. It's time for Minecraft to finally get a spotlight here. But Switch Sports, guys, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for, I think it's at the end of this month or maybe next month, we will get Nintendo's financial updates where we find out how many copies of their games have sold. Switch Sports must be an absolute beast. It's been in the top 5 since it came out. No other first-party game has stayed in the top 5 this long, at least not this year. So maybe Pokemon Legends at the beginning of the year, I'm not sure. But Switch Sports has clearly been an absolute massive success. I would not be surprised if this game is pushing 10 million, maybe more. Clearly, it's been doing very well for Nintendo, which is funny because I mentioned a few weeks ago, people seem to think this game is dying. No, it isn't. I'm not just saying that because I like the game and I'm playing it actively. The game is clearly thriving. This game is doing very, very well for Nintendo, which I think should be to no one's surprise because it's Wii Sports on the Switch. Also, shout out to Mario plus Rabbids popping up in the top 4. I think it's because there was the game trial with the discount last week, but still, Mario plus Rabbids, great game. Cool to see in the top 4. And that is going to do it for this week's Nintendo Wrap. Let me know what your favorite news story of the week is, folks. There's a lot to get into here. For me, I would say probably Kirby's Dream Buffet, but man, Bayonetta 3 is so exciting. The fact that they acquired a new studio with Dynamo Pictures, I mean, that's awesome to see, just Nintendo making moves like that, which we don't really see very often. Just a lot of exciting stuff this week. So let me know what your favorite news story is of the week, folks. And until next time, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia, TikTok, Instagram, all the same places. My Discord, that is linked down below if you want to discuss some of this news with me. I pop around from time to time, as well as a bunch of other people are in there. Yeah, until next time, folks, peace.